Starting your day off with a take on Vegas you won't get anywhere else.
Hi, I'm Holly Madison, and I listen to Brian Shapiro.
Hi, this is William Shatner, and I listen to Brian Shapiro.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and I listen to Brian Shapiro. Why? Because I'm a good American. So is he. And if you don't listen to him, you need to pack up and leave this country.
This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
Come on, guys!
What's up, everybody? It is the Vegas Take back at you on a Wednesday. Yeah, it is hump day. That means a couple things. Number one, it just means I'm in a good mood. And number two, Michael Avenatti going to be joining us here at the bottom of the hour alongside J.D. Sharp. We're going to have some fun coming up in hour number two. Vegas superhost Steve Sear will be joining us. He's an author. He's all over the place, man. And a lot of questions to get to him coming up in hour number two. So that'll be a lot of fun. A lot going on in the world of politics today. 16 Trump associates have had contacts with Russians during the campaign or transition. We will get to that. There's an update on David Ortiz, how much money the shooter allegedly got paid to try and execute David Ortiz. Thank God he was unsuccessful. We'll get to that coming up in a little bit. But, JD, I want to start with this. It's the word plagiarism. I was accused of plagiarism at least one time, I think, in college and in high school. Were you ever accused of plagiarism in your lifetime? I was.
I don't believe that I was.
You don't believe that you were, so there's a chance.
I don't think that I was. I may have been maybe when I was like 15 or 16, but I don't remember.
There's plenty of times where I refused to read a book, and I was reading, remember the Cliff Notes? I did that back in the day. That was a while ago. I was accused of plagiarism at least once. I did a very, very good job on a history paper, and my high school teacher accused me of plagiarism. I was insulted. It was bad. It's not good when you're accused of being causing plagiarism, right? It's not a good thing.
So you didn't, or you did plagiarize?
I was accused. I did not plagiarize.
Did not.
I took some sentences from my book, but I didn't take it word for word. That's not plagiarism. It's not plagiarism.
And
I took
you
the ideas.
Obviously did 12 or 14 spell checks.
Oh, I mean, I'm terrible when it comes to I'm horrible at that. Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
Good.
I'm terrible with
that.
Now
I believe you.
My girlfriend at the time wrote most of my papers, I think. So is that plagiarism? I don't know. She wrote the papers for me. That's not plagiarism, is it? I don't know. Anyway, let's move. The reason why I bring up plagiarism, I'll explain. Okay, so Joe Biden, who I think most people would agree is most likely going to be the front runner for the Democratic Party and will most likely be running against Donald Trump. I think that is a fair assessment. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So Joe Biden said this slogan, and he says, "Make America America again." So I want to play a little bit of that, and then we're going to play some Michael Avenatti audio from 2 years ago. So let's start with this audio by Joe Biden.
Well, you know what? We talk about the fact that let's make America great again. I'd settle for just let America be American again.
Okay, now here's Michael Avenatti.
We will make America respected again. And above all else, we will make America America again.
I love it. It's awesome. So it doesn't stop there, folks. So Michael Avenatti, who, by the way, is joining our show in about 25 minutes or so, he's accusing Joe Biden of plagiarism. Now, he wasn't really rude about it or anything. He said, look, he could use it if he wants to, but he just wanted to point out, look, I'm the one who said it first. So I get a message on my Twitter today. Do we remember Scott Baio? Do you remember this guy, Charles in Charge? I should have played the. Maybe we should play the audio version of Charles in Charge. No, I'm not going to try singing that.
No, keep going. It's great.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But anyway, Scott Baio.
I remember Scott Baio from Can't Hardly Wait.
Was Scott Baio in Can't Hardly Wait?
Scott Baio was mentioned several times in Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh, he was mentioned. Okay,
as a heartthrob.
Yeah. Well, he's certainly a heartthrob of mine. Anyway, he hits me up on Twitter today, and he says, no. Hold up a second. Wait a second. I spoke during the Republican National Convention. What are you talking about? We had a private DM conversation, me and Scott Baio. I never thought it would happen. My dreams have come true, folks. This is why I got into radio, so I could get into a discussion and get Scott Baio's cell phone number. But seriously, in all seriousness, Scott Baio said, no. He basically said Michael Avenatti is a liar. And I want to play you a little bit of audio from Scott Baio. Again, he's a huge Republican, big Trump supporter. But that's here nor there. This is him speaking at the Republican National Convention before those Avenatti comments. Let's roll that.
Let's make America great again
but let's make America again.
So there's the controversy. Where did it start? Maybe Scott Baio's right. But here's the thing. Here's what I want to ask Michael Avenatti. Did you hear Baio make that speech? Now, if he didn't, then is it plagiarism?
And the most important question is, did you copyright or trademark that slogan and or phrase? Because if you didn't, then the word high technically could be plagiarized for the last 500 million years.
So if we started off the show, instead of the Charles in charge, if we did Brian in charge or JD in charge, would that be considered plagiarism? I don't know. How does that work? Anyway.
It's just a very, very disgusting plagiarism triangle right now.
It really is. I want to get down to the bottom of this. This is very serious stuff.
There's serious layers of plagiarism taking
Who's
place.
Plagiarizing here? Do we have the...
It's a plagiarism onion.
As Tucker Carlson calls him, the creepy porn lawyer. I don't like to call him that, but Tucker does. And by the way, Tucker... had Michael Avenatti News on his show last night. What a shocker. I swear Tucker Carlson has half-nude pictures of Michael Avenatti hanging up on his wall somewhere. I'm telling you, he is obsessed with Michael Avenatti. So who's plagiarizing here? Is it Avenatti? Is it Joe Biden? Or is Charles in charge just full of crap? What is going on here? I also saw that Keith Olbermann was using that Make America, America Again. So what is going on here? I want to get down to the bottom of this. Yeah, I want to get down to the bottom of this plagiarism triangle. I want to know who's telling the truth and who's lying. And we are going to put Michael Avenatti on the stand coming up here in about 20 minutes. We'll see what he has to say about this whole thing. I'll tell you one thing. Joe Biden did not make this up on his own. That I do not believe. I do not believe his campaign manager or somebody in his campaign wrote that up. No. This has a track record. This Make America, America Again has been going on for a while now, and we want to get down to the bottom of it. What exactly happened? So Michael Avenatti will be joining us coming up here in a little bit at the bottom of the hour, and we're going to find out what's going on here. And you can give us a buzz. If you have theories, who do you think started this thing? Who do you think is the serial plagiarizer? Is that even a word? Plagiarizer? You're a plagiarizer. Is that a word? I just made up a word on a 50,000-watt radio station.
I don't have an issue with it.
All right.
So if you want to say it's a word, that's fine.
All right, fine. Who do you think is the plagiarizer in chief? Oh, wait, no, that would be referring to Donald Trump, because I'm sure he writes everything on his own. I'm sure Donald Trump, would never plagiarize. He would never do anything like that. Donald Trump is such an intelligent man. He just writes all of his own speeches and everything,
and
right?
Every politician and president and anyone who's been in the media who's looked off a teleprompter obviously wrote their information too.
All right, well, let me give this question out. Who is doing the plagiarizing here? Is anybody lying? Michael Avenatti, Scott Baio, Joe Biden, Keith Olbermann? We'll take your calls on that, 257-5396, 702-257-5396. By the way, I also want to remind our listeners on Thursday, June 20th, which, if my math is correct, is a week from tomorrow, Rodizio Grill. We will be there from 5 to 8 p.m. broadcasting live. We'll have great food and drink specials, some free food and drinks as well. I love my free food. You know that. So check us out. Come on down. Not to sound like Rod Roddy from The Price is Right, but we'd love you to come on down and check us out at it's a great place, by the way, Rodizio. Great food and drink specials there. Come on down, say hello, and we would love to meet you, our listeners. So give us a buzz, 257-5396, if you want to be a part of the show. You won't find a more interactive show than the Vegas Take. Again, that number is 702-257-5396. Of course, I also want to get into, this is just some scary specifics here in regards to this David Ortiz shooting. And by now, I would imagine most of you have seen the video of David Ortiz sitting there in a chair just relaxing, and then somebody sneaks up right behind him, shoots him in the lower back. Luckily, he survived. He's had 2 surgeries. Well, we're learning that the man or the animal, whatever you want to call him, that decided to shoot David Ortiz was paid. Well, let me just start by saying we see this $400,000 figure online and everywhere, right? And it's Dominican pesos. So that is, it's not, they did not that it would make it legitimate. Oh, well, no wonder why he tried to shoot. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is he wasn't paid $400,000. He was paid $7,800.
Yes, he accepted an order to kill arguably the most famous athlete in DR history for less than 10 grand.
It's not like you look at this $400,000.
That's where humanity is at right now.
It's not like you look at this $400,000 figure and you say to yourself, oh, well, that makes sense. Oh, okay. Yeah, anybody would have done that for $400,000. No, that's not what I'm saying. But he wasn't paid $400,000. He was paid $7,800, and his life is over forever. Let's take some phone calls, 257-5396. Who is the plagiarizer in this whole situation? Also, any questions you think we should ask Michael Avenatti, we will gladly listen to them. Doesn't necessarily mean we will ask those questions. If it's legitimate, we will do that. We'll take your calls right now, 257-5396. Who is the plagiarizer here? I want to know. I want to find out. What are your thoughts? Let's start off with Carol. Carol, what's up?
Hi, Carol.
Oh, hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Well, I would say that I believe both Joe Biden and Michael Avenatti are the plagiarists, although I would say Joe Biden probably is reading what somebody wrote for him. I still think that if you read the word, you're ultimately taking responsibility for being a plagiarist, and I'm sure Trump would be held to that standard.
So, Carol, let me ask you this.
Speechwriter.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Carol. I kind of agree with you when it comes to Joe Biden. Do you think there's a possibility that Michael Avenatti did not watch the Republican National Convention? Because that is a possibility, right? And maybe he didn't hear Scott Baio's speech. Do you think there's any chance of that at all?
You know, it's hard for me to say. I'm sure Joe Biden watched it. I kind of remember Scott Baio speaking, and I didn't remember him saying that, but I remember that his speech was televised.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, it's possible that somebody just came up with that, and if you didn't intentionally do it, it wasn't plagiarism. I don't know. Michael Avenatti, he gets blamed for a lot of things these days, right?
Well, you're right about that. We'll talk to him in a few minutes here, and we'll get a response. Carol, good to hear from you. I thank you for the call. We appreciate it, okay?
Thank you.
Sure, 257-5396. Next caller, I believe, is Gary. Gary, thanks for calling into the Vegas Take. How are you, Gary? We lost Gary. 257-5396. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin, what's up?
Hey, Brian, I got to tell you, I love your show.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're right on most of everything going on. I don't know if you've done any research, but there's been a history with Biden. If you look back at his law school days, he was accused of plagiarism, something with law review. Have you looked into that?
You know what? I did hear that. I actually heard that on the news myself. And that's why, Kevin, if you recall, I said a few minutes ago, I think Joe Biden is certainly the plagiarizer here.
Well, I'd have to agree with you on that, and I agree with most of everything that you have on your show. So just keep up the good work.
Thank you, Kevin.
I love how you mix it up with a lot of your people on the show.
I appreciate that, Kevin. The check is in the mail, my friend. Thank you very much.
Right, thanks a lot, Kevin.
You call in anytime, Kevin. I like Kevin. I like Kevin. Maybe we'll just do the show with Kevin tomorrow. Maybe we just won't take any calls, and we'll just take a 1-hour phone call from Kevin every Wednesday. That would boost my ego. Is that okay with you? Can we do that?
That sounds great.
Just block all the other callers.
As long as it's sponsored by.
Well, who's it sponsored by?
I don't know. We'll
Plagiarism or us?
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe we could do that. 257-5396. Brady.
The Writers Guild.
The Writers Guild. There you go. Brady, thanks for calling in. What's up? Who's the plagiarizer, Brady?
Oh, I don't know about the plagiarizer. I think Joe Biden is. But the funny thing is he offered the VP position to Stacey Abrams, that losing lady from, I think she was from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And she accused Joe Biden of being racist.
Yeah,
I think that's the absolute insanity of what this party of yours, or that I think you're backing. I'm pretty sure you're a Democrat. You say you're not, but what this Democrat Party has become, you got so much political infighting. I mean, this is going to get really, really interesting coming up.
I think it will, Brady. Just to answer your question,
it looks like a lot of politicians are leveraging race.
Well, sure.
Regardless of the party that they're attacking.
Yeah. Brady, to answer your question, I voted Republican and Democrat. I don't like politicians, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden. I'm not. If it's Joe Biden, Donald Trump, who knows who I'll vote for? Okay, I won't make that announcement now, Brady. But no, I'm not a Democrat.
But will you vote if it's Joe Biden versus Donald Trump?
I've decided. Listen, I didn't vote when
so
it was.
Are you voting in 2020?
I didn't vote in 2016, and because this show is going so well, and it's such a political show, how could I go on the air in 2020 and say I'm not going to vote? So you see, I'm making breaking news right now, Brady. Please call TMZ. I will be voting in 2020.
So if Joe Biden wins the Democratic nomination, you will be voting for Donald Trump.
I'm not going to make that announcement right now, okay?
What about Bernie?
So you'll vote for Socialist Bernie?
I like Bernie Sanders, but he's way too far to the left to me. I don't like this $15 an hour minimum wage
So what
nonsense.
he's saying is if it, carry the one, do the math.
Don't pin me in a corner. It's not even close to 2020.
Brian Shapiro
Stop it.
is going to vote for Donald Trump in 2020.
Don't call her Pocahontas. Listen, I don't like her, but I think that is disrespectful to call her Pocahontas. If you're going to be disrespectful, Brady.
How about 0.00001% Pocahontas?
If you're going to be disrespectful, Brady, please call our president a scumbag because I believe he is one. Is that okay?
Well, I have more Indian blood in my pinky than Pocahontas does in her whole body.
Well, you're probably right on that, and I'm not going to back her on that. I have never defended her, and I never will, Brady. It's good to hear from you. Thank you for the phone call. We appreciate it. 257-5396.
Your best phone call yet, Brady.
257-5396. Let's go to Johnson. Johnson, what's up?
Hello, Johnson.
Hey, it's me again. I called in Monday.
I'm sorry, Johnson. I don't remember every caller that calls in. Forgive me, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Go ahead.
That's okay.
Yes.
I was just reading your Twitter feed. It looks like Scott Baio replied with a video of himself saying it at the 2016 convention.
Yeah, were you listening to the first 5 minutes of the show?
No, actually, I wasn't. I'm sorry.
I accept your apology, Johnson, but I don't want to rewind it so everyone else could hear the same thing. But we actually played that audio, and I gave that story. So yes, you are right,
okay.
Johnson. Yes, Scott Baio. I had a private conversation with him. We spoke. We had some words, and he's not coming on the show today.
He decided, like everybody else, that it would not be wise for him to debate Michael Avenatti.
Well, I don't know if it's that. He didn't specifically say that, but he did say that the proof is in the pudding, and he showed me the video, and we played it, Johnson. So he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other question, I was wondering if Michael has a tendency to want everyone to debate him, and I've never seen anyone do it to the extent he
Well,
does.
you know what? It's unfortunate, Johnson, and that's something that I really do appreciate about Michael Avenatti. Say what you want about the guy. If you think he's a criminal, well, let's wait and see what happens. But one thing that Michael Avenatti is not afraid of doing is debating anybody. And you know what? I respect that. We all should respect that. There's a lot of people that attack Michael Avenatti on a daily basis, but many of them are cowards. And, that's what I would call somebody. A coward that goes after somebody on social media or behind their back but will not debate them face-to-face is a coward.
And we will be coining celebrity debate match with Michael Avenatti.
Oh, no doubt.
In the next 6 to 12 months.
No doubt. No doubt.
Absolutely.
Johnson, I appreciate the call, my man. Thank you very much.
Great call, Johnson.
257-5396 is the number to call. Again, 257-5396. Let's go to Marcus. Marcus, what's up?
Hey, Marcus.
Hey, I think if Scott Baio said it first, I guess Biden and Avenatti copied him.
Well, I mean, that's certainly a possibility, but here's the question again I will ask you, Marcus. Is there a what are you guys laughing so much for? You guys are making me laugh in studio. Is there a possibility, Marcus, that Michael Avenatti did not hear Scott Baio say that during the Republican National Convention? I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt on that. Are you?
Yeah, and I guess the same percentages apply to Joe Biden. Maybe he didn't hear Avenatti say it.
See, I think Biden heard it.
Here's why I don't believe that with Joe Biden, because Joe Biden was a strong politician and a vice president.
And Biden has teams that do stuff like this, that research situations
if
like
Joe
this.
maybe there's a chance but somebody in his campaign certainly got that from either Scott Baio or Michael Avenatti.
He was a pretty busy guy back in 2016 with all these different lawsuits.
Yeah.
Well, number two, I don't think Tucker Carlson's obsessed with Avenatti. I mean, he's on your show every Wednesday, and he's in the news. You got to mention him. I guess if you're a news organization.
Well, here's the reason why we have Michael Avenatti on the show, and I think there are completely different reasons why we have him on, and why first of all, Tucker Carlson calls him the creepy porn lawyer, and he's completely disrespectful towards the man almost on a nightly basis. And then the one time that Michael Avenatti came on Tucker Carlson's show, Tucker was yelling over the top of him, completely disrespectful, didn't let him speak at all.
And he turned down his mic.
Okay, yeah, exactly. One thing about Michael Avenatti, I'll say this: he's extremely intelligent. He's a smart guy. He's entertaining. He's a great interview. And we'll always give him a platform to come on here and talk. And you know what? I don't know how these court proceedings are going to go. But guilty or not, I think he's a great interview. And that's why we have him on. Tucker just has him on so he could bash him one time. And Tucker's a coward, just like Don Jr. and all these other guys that go after Michael Avenatti on social media. But when Michael Avenatti says, hey, why don't we have a debate on the air or face-to-face, they say no. And they're all cowards as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, with the last caller, Avenatti is willing to debate anybody. And I respect that about him. He's not afraid to take on anyone. He took on Donald Trump, and I think that is certainly part of the reason why he's in the situation legally that he is in now.
Okay. Well, last question.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, it's not 1, 2, or 3 things. He has like 4 or 5 things against him as far as lawsuits or accusations. I mean, and he always says, hey, I'm innocent of all that. And he's always the common denominator. When so many things come at you, something's got to be a little...
Well, Well, I'll say this. If you've never been convicted of sexual assault and all of a sudden you have 8 women come at you and say that you've committed sexual assault on them, I think it's worth raising eyebrows and saying, well, wait a second. I think the main reason why he is in the situation he is in is because he went after Donald Trump and that administration. And I think they opened up the books. They're going after this guy. And again, I don't know what is going to happen, Marcus, and I appreciate the call. We don't know what's going to happen.
And also, I think that the same thing that what you're suggesting happens with Trump. Nike could have done the exact same thing. Nike is a massive conglomerate. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. He's going after some huge companies. And when you do that, you're putting yourself at risk.
No question. Well, guess what? Guess who we have on coming up next year? Coming up here in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. We're going to be joined by Michael Avenatti. Also, a reminder, Thursday, June 20th, we have a live remote Rodizio Grill in Henderson from 5 to 8 p.m. That's a week from tomorrow, so we hope you could join us for that. Michael Avenatti himself coming up next. We will ask him, who's the plagiarizer here? Coming up next on the Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDWN. 720 AM, KDWN. 720 AM, KDWN.